I wanted people to learn about cannabis. I wanted it to be smooth, straightforward, and people to have enough information, whether they want to participate or not, but to be informed.
Hello and welcome to McGraw Some Sauce, the podcast all about helping entrepreneurs level up to become awesome. My name is Nick McGraw. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I live in Canada, and we are the world's first nation to fully legalize cannabis from coast to coast. But what are we actually doing to make sure that the public has safe and accurate information as they dive deeper into the world of cannabis use? I talked to Pedro Correia from Kanahu, Canada's first online app that's going to teach you everything you need to know about the ins and outs of cannabis, how to use it, how to consume it, how to grow it, and make sure you can do so in a safe and accurate way. Kanahu is an app that is currently under development by Pedro and his team and will be released this year so all Canadians have access to reliable information about the world of cannabis. As an entrepreneur, he's exactly the type of person that I like to talk to. He's launching a really big idea that's really powerful and going to help a ton of people. So if you're ready, let's dive in with Pedro Correia and Kanahu. Pedro, thank you so much for being with me here on McGraw Some Sauce. I think this is a real privilege, and I think I have a lot to learn from you today and what it is you're building and what it is you're doing for the community. So thank you so much for being here and taking the time to talk to me.
You're welcome, Nick. It's my pleasure. It's very exciting for me. It's my first podcast to be attending, so thank you for giving me that experience.
What an honor for you. You must feel so privileged that I'm giving you this chance. What a platform you have today, Pedro.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, hugely appreciate it. Absolutely. To participate and sit down and have a little conversation throughout this time. And yeah, it feels great to be here, and I'm very grateful for it.
I mean, the fact that I'm even giving you any of my time, Pedro, like what an honor, like what a privilege. The only thing better than this would be being knighted by the Queen, I think.
Yeah, this might be a little bit better than that, to be honest.
Oh man, I like how you're like, I'll pump his tires and that'll hurt him. Yeah. I love that. One day, we gotta dream big, man. You gotta have ambition.
Absolutely, every day.
You got to look to the future and what you could build, right? And one day you and I will be bigger than Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? We'll be signing $100 million Spotify deals, right?
Could be, or $100 million Kanahu deals.
Oh, here we go. I'll be an affiliate for, and I'll have my affiliate link, and I'll be sponsored by Kanahu. I can't wait.
Could be. You know, the future has a variety of possibilities. So we'll see where
hard,
it goes.
We'll both get there, right?
Absolutely. I agree with you, Nick.
Awesome. So Pedro, thank you again so much for being here with me. Why don't you tell me, because I love, as you know, I love entrepreneurship and I love solving problems and I love when people launch something because it's not just their vision or they want a company or they want to make money. They see a real problem, real issues in the world. They see a space where they can fill with a solution that they've lived through with personal experience or personal pain. And this is exactly what you're doing with Kanahu. So please educate me in why you've built Kanahu, what it's all about, who it's for, and why the world needs it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great questions. So why I built Kanahu? So I'm a cannabis consumer myself. I use it as a medicine, and throughout that journey, I spent a lot of time researching cannabis, getting informed, building my own perspective. And I realized a lot of the stuff I had initially believed, thought, was told was very, very outdated or misinformation. So as I kept going through there, I was really impressed, super surprised with all the information I was finding out. So that was a big, big eye-opener for me. And I realized a lot of the information was very scattered, very spread out, hard to pinpoint what's accurate, what's not accurate. So it was a big journey for me. And I had quite a bit of experience in the cannabis space. So throughout all of that, Kanahu became something that I wanted to create to help people be informed. I wanted people to learn about cannabis. I wanted it to be smooth, straightforward, and people to have enough information, whether they want to participate or not, but to be informed. so that they can choose either to participate or be okay with having conversations and make that relationship a lot easier, a lot smoother, straightforward for consumers, so that if they do consume, they know what they're consuming. They have enough of a foundation to do so safely. That's a big thing with us, is we want people to be consuming safely at your pace so that nothing bad's happening. And if you do not like it, that's okay. You can then move on. And if you do like it, that's fantastic. And you're able to continue going along with that. But you do have a foundation so that you're able to access safely. You know what you're accessing, how much to access, and you're aware of what you're doing. So that's super important for us. And then now, what is Kanahu? Kanahu is a platform that we made. So it's a mobile app for both Android and iPhone platforms. And we're also on a variety of social platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all of the above, so people can see us and find us there. We've got a website, so you can check us out there. But the app in itself is not launched yet, but it's going to be in the new year. So we're looking forward to that. And what that is, that's basically all of our resources in one place. So we've got a media outlet in there. So we're going to have a lot of written content, video content in terms of like informing people. So if you're more of a reader, you can read up on some stuff. If you're more of a visual person, you can watch some of our videos, which is like Cannabis 101. It's a little bit of cannabis entertainment, cannabis wellness, and really like step by step in terms of that. And people can really be informed there. We've got some quick little information on the bottom where you can see about cannabinoids, terpenes, cannabis laws, because that's really important. Like what's legal, what's not legal, how much can I possess, how much can I not possess? Can I have plants in my house? Can I not have plants in my house? So it's a quick little resource there so people can get it quickly, and it's accessible to everybody on our platform. It is free for everybody as well. So everybody who's going to participate, it's fully free for all of our consumers because we want you to have that access. We don't want it to be limited. And also within our platform, we've got a community. That's a big focus for us, where people can come together and share their experiences. And that's really big for me. I think experiences was one of the things that I really learned as I got more informed with cannabis. I started to hear other people's experience. It's like, it's not that dangerous. It's not bad. It's just, if it's for you, it works. If it's not, it's not. And it was really insightful for me as I got more informed. And I was like, interesting. Some other people using cannabis and it went really well for them. And that actually led the way for me to actually participate myself, because it wasn't something so strange. So that's a big focal point with Kanahu, is having that space so people can come and have open-ended conversation, no judgment, everything's okay, no stupid questions are in our community. Every question is fantastic, and find similar people, similar situations, so people can relate, come together, encourage this conversation, learn and move together, like move forward together. I think that's really important for us, so that we can all be informed, whether we're participating in consumption or just participating in conversation. There's a place where people can now come to have those conversations. So that's a very big focal point for us as well, our community. We've also got a bit of an AI integration where it's a one-on-one relationship with people. So it's got like 2 or 3 questions similar to like, how are you feeling today? And you can respond. Her name's Wanda. So it's like we've got a cool little specialist named Wanda, and she just gives you like a cool little like icebreaker into maybe what you receive at a retail store. So like, how are you feeling today? When are you looking to consume? And what are you looking to consume? And building a cool little relationship and familiarizing us as consumers with some questions that we might be asked if we were to go there. And we get an idea of like, okay, if we're asked these questions, what would we say, or how would we respond? And also to make us think about what are we going to consume. So that's a cool little section we've got there. And we're going to see how people enjoy that process. And then we also offer a section where we have a map for the retail stores, so people can see your nearest retailer, because that's really important to us. We want people to know where they can access cannabis and to make sure they're accessing from legitimate resources. So like legal, authorized retailers here in Ontario, very important. There's a bit of a mix out there, but we want people to be informed, and we want people to be going to the stores that are authorized and they're selling regulated products. So that's very exciting for us. And then we also do showcase every registered company that's on our platform will be showcasing the products that they offer there as well, so people can see that there's not just cannabis flowers or smokable products. We've got the edibles and the beverages and the oils. So that's really exciting, and people can begin to build their perspective on cannabis, where it's like it's not just smoking, it's a little bit more than that. And I know a lot of people aren't into smoking. I'm starting to adjust my consumption as well to experiment with some other products. And it's been very exciting now that we have a variety of options. So I really like that. And yeah, people can really see that. They can see what's out there, what they might like instead of a smokable product. They can prefer a cream, a topical of some sort. I've heard a lot of great responses with that. My mom actually uses a topical currently. So yeah, it helps her a lot. And I've heard some fantastic stories of some other people. So that gives people that insight of where there are stores, what brands there are, what companies there are. So you build a bit of a brand identity and you can see who's out there. You start to familiarize yourself with some companies you might enjoy, as well as you get a wide array of what's available in one place. So that's a big positive, where people can just surf around and no stress or pressure to purchase anything. It's more just being informed. And you can take your time with it, look at one product, another product, compare it, like this one, not like that one, and move it all around. As well as we've got a profile for individuals who join our community. And one thing we made with Kanahu was, in the community, if you go on our app, you don't actually have to participate in the community. You can surf the app, you can look at our articles, our media, you can look at the products, the map. And if you're not into participating there, you don't even need to. And you create a separate username to enter that section, and it's still free, all of that. But if you're not into like engaging there, or if you're super busy and you're not into it, that's fine with us. But if you are, you're able to enter that area and then begin engaging, sharing, experiencing, seeing how other people have experienced cannabis. So yeah, it's a really diverse platform. It's been very exciting to develop, and the consumers are definitely our focal point. We really want to make sure people are informed and they're able to make safe choices if they do choose to do so, or they're able to be informed enough to have a conversation with somebody who maybe is considering cannabis, and you're not so standoffish or rejecting the idea of it, and it's a lot more accepting and inviting, and we're able to help each other out and move forward when it comes to cannabis.
That's amazing, man. Like I'm such a big fan of this. I love this idea. I love that you're essentially information first. I love that you're breaking down barriers. We have no time for judgment. We have lots of time for intelligent questions and figuring out what's right for you.
Absolutely.
And this doesn't work for me, and I know 90% of the people like it, but I like this thing over here. It's more niche for me, right? Breaking down those barriers, a judgment-free place, more of a forum, open discussion kind of thing. We need this, okay? Like we need this. Not just like the world or whatever, but Canada as a nation. We were the first ones to do this coast to coast. And I remember when 2018 came, it was like October 18th, something like that, of 2018, and I remember, the weeks leading up to it, it's like, it's getting closer, what's going to happen? And the whole kind of country, you could kind of feel this electricity on the air when we were about to legalize it everywhere. And then the day came and it was like, all right, just another day. And then the next day came and it's like the world still spun. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
That was a huge moment in history, in like human history and Canadian history, especially, for already breaking down some barriers. But then also, like 2 years on, like we're having this conversation where 2 years later, we've had this whole industry legalized inside of our nation, and there's still a ton of misinformation and a ton of outright lies about what this culture is all about, and what the community is all about. And I'm barely in this community, and I can clearly see, because I'm not a huge user, but the stuff I do use for, and I'm glad you brought up different ways people can consume, because not everyone wants to smoke, not everyone wants to eat the edibles.
Very true.
I've put the topical cream on my body and it is a lifesaver. I've had swelling go down in seconds. I feel much better. My back doesn't hurt as much. And I like the CBD oil. I'm a big fan of using the flavored oils. My flavor here at home happens to be grape. I love it. It helps me sleep at night sometimes. So there's a ton of misinformation and a ton of just outright not knowing what is true and a lot of falsehood out there. And I love that Kanahu is taking on this role where we're going to put a stop to that. We're going to start bringing real information with no need to sell you anything. We have no
Mm-hmm.
problem pumping the tires of certain dealers, but we're not here to make a profit. We're here to help consumers first. We're all about
Mm-hmm.
you and answering your questions. So I love that this is information first.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The information is super important because I think when people are informed, they're able to make the choices they want to make as well as the ones they need to make to help themselves. And cannabis is a fantastic product. It's got both medical applications as well as recreational applications. So it's really unique in that way. It's not like a lot of other products. So even in a recreational use, if used well, it can really help. It can be like a very complex vitamin, so to speak. So it can be very beneficial to a variety of ways. And yeah, and really bringing us together with a strong foundation of information, we can really progress to the future very strongly and united, which I think will really help us move forward with cannabis. There's a lot we don't know, and we're going to find out a lot in the coming years. And I think doing it together will only make that happen faster. Putting minds together, sharing experiences, what works, what doesn't work, and we're able to pick up there and move forward. So yeah, Canada is positioned in a fantastic place. We are looked at from a global standpoint. So to do things in a united way, I think will be very influential to the rest of the world and set a very fantastic standard of like how cannabis should be regulated and legalized and also accepted as another product that is offered by people. So it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, I love that you said that like Canada is in this unique position. We are the pioneers for this. Like there
Mm-hmm.
have been other pockets of the world, like specific states of the US has tried to do it, but there's still a stigma across that country. Canada is the first to do it coast to coast, north to south.
Yeah.
And because we open that up, you have no choice but to have an open dialogue now, right? Some people who were super advocates and some people who were very much against it, they now have to kind of come together and have an open discussion about the
Yeah.
ins and outs and the rights and wrongs. And I'm so glad you alluded to the fact that there's a lot we don't know. There's a
Yeah.
lot we don't know, but we'll never get to the knowing unless we open this up and we have this
Absolutely.
discussion. And now it's legal, right? So as long as you follow some of the rules that have been in place, it's like you said, how
Mm-hmm.
many plants are you allowed to grow in your
Yeah.
place? How much are you allowed to have on your person before it still is deemed this is distribution? Like
Yeah.
you can't have a whole brick of it because I don't know how you're going to get through all of that on yourself in an evening, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we put rules in place. That's why it's regulated. It's not the wild, wild west anymore. And so we can have this kind of safe discussion about, okay, I have a real question. What about this? And then someone can come and answer to someone who is educated. And your platform isn't Google. Your
Mm-hmm.
platform isn't just another search engine where I can get a million answers. I
Mm-hmm.
imagine the work you're doing is vetting all these answers and making sure that there's no misinformation on your
Yeah,
platform.
we're definitely gonna do our best to pass like up to date information and also embrace the fact that it is changing all the time, and that's what we're actively working towards. Is as information moves forward, well, so is everybody else, and we're not staying behind while the narrative is up here and everybody else is down here. We don't want that to happen. So as we learn, we're learning together, and that's what's going to happen. Is it's going to evolve a lot, and we want people to be informed. We want people to be aware of what's what and how does it go and this and that. So it's very important for us, and together it's like the best way, and in unison with regards to consumers, what's working in our current industry, what's not working in terms of the retail model, what's working, what's not working, and we're able to really make improvements easier and quicker. So yeah, the conversation to me is a very, very big one. It really helps. We all can put our minds together and learn and grow, which is, it's just like the plants. They grow and so do we. So it's fantastic.
A little bit of
Yeah,
love, a little bit of TLC, and those plants
absolutely.
grow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. So yeah, here in Canada, it's a great time, and 2 years into the industry, so there's a lot we're going to learn, a lot that's going to change, but yeah, if we're having the conversation very openly, it can go well, very well for all of us. And yeah, we can build a very strong industry. We can build a strong infrastructure for our consumers, and everybody can participate safely and at their choice, which is how it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's personal life is different. As I've kind of explained to you before, I can't physically smoke the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried. I can count on my one hand how many times I've tried to smoke a joint.
Yeah.
And there's something repellent about inhaling something for me. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never had a cigarette. I
Yeah.
can't inhale anything. I don't have asthma. I don't have any breathing problems. I don't want the stuff in my lungs.
Yeah.
But I just told you, I love that oil and that little eyedropper. I've
Yeah.
had edibles, I've had brownies, and there's a time and place for all of this. But I'm someone who is got kind of one toe in the water of cannabis. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of, I feel like I'm on the fringes. I'd like to learn a little bit more, but on my
Yeah.
own time and on my own pace. And I'm never gonna be, shouting from the rooftops, yo, cannabis is the future. Like, I'm not one of them, right? But I'm also not a detractor. I'm not an opponent. I'm
Yeah.
definitely for the culture. And I knew that Canada needed this. We needed to do this because there's so many applicable benefits, like you said,
Yeah.
not just recreationally but medically. And like you said,
Yeah.
there's a ton we don't know, but how do we get there? We're going to have to just dive in and just start consuming the knowledge and vetting the knowledge and filtering out what's right, what's wrong, and giving it back to the people who will consume this. And I love that Kanahu is about users, like actual people, like consumers. It's not
Yeah,
about the
absolutely.
shop selling it and making a product. It's about me. It's about me and the
Yeah.
little guy who needs to know more stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. People just like you who have like one toe in the water or a foot in the water, and it's, yeah, this is a resource where you're able to now step in slowly and begin to participate in conversation, as simply as that, and learn and build your foundation, ask your questions that are unanswered. Because once you start getting those answers, you got a little more insight. And you're like, okay, this might be something I want. Maybe I'm not ready yet, but there's no pressure, and we don't want you to be pressured doing that. As well as if you do it, you're safe, not to maybe drive, or how much to consume to be, safe. And that's a very big one. We want people to really be informed. We want people to know what they're doing, and like that, it lowers risk like completely. As opposed to just allowing things to go the way they go. No, it's a lot more. Let's help each other out. Let's come together. Let's talk about it.
And I love the mindset that you have. You have obviously this very professional, information first mindset. It's obviously a very mature, well thought out mindset. Because for too long, this has been one of the fringe cultures. It's sort of up there with well, not anymore. It's obviously changing. The conversation is changing. But like with alcohol, marijuana and cannabis have always been compared to other drugs and alcohol, or tattoo culture.
Yeah.
How long people with like sleeves were deemed, unhireable, and they're
Yeah.
not good employees. Now you see everyone's got sleeves and neck tattoos and they're great employees. We know this is not true. Our perceptions have changed. The new generation is here, or a couple of generations are here, and they're now changing how people view people in the world, how you think and act with people in the world, how we interact with each other, how we build relationships. And now that we have this legal kind of infrastructure for cannabis, and we have a platform like Kanahu, this is going to be brought so far into the limelight. This is going to be so far into the spotlight. It's no longer on the outskirts. It's no longer on the fringes. It's no longer in the shadows. It's definitely in the light, and it's like, oh, this isn't so bad. If I don't want it, I don't want to have it. Well, yeah, it's like anything else in life. You don't want to wear a t-shirt, wear a sweater. Like, it's like the same thing. You have personal choice. Doesn't have to be rammed down your throat, and you can come and go as you please as long as you're informed.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the idea. As long as you're informed, you're able to participate safely and at your pace, just like you said, which is super, super important. And it's funny how you say brought into the light. If you look at our logo, it actually looks like a light bulb.
I've noticed that.
Okay, cool. I was wondering if anybody's caught on to that. So yeah, and there's a little bit of irony there. It's like it went from what it was, like a dark, unspoken about, undesirable conversation, now into the light, literally like a light bulb. So it lit up the space so that we can have a conversation, we could come together and really move forward with the conversation around cannabis and accept it as any other product, and begin to be informed and explore, because there is a lot of we don't know, and there can be a lot of very good things within this plant that can benefit a lot of us, especially in the medical world. Like, we've been medical in Canada since 2001. So we've got 19 years with a medical program. Yeah. Not easily accessible, but it's there, and there's an infrastructure, and it's been there for a long time now. So, I didn't even know about it before I got medically prescribed cannabis. So it was very interesting to hear that it's been there since 2001, and there's a lot that we still need to explore. So the research that's going to come with with now our infrastructure in the recreational space and the medical space will be fantastic. The revenue generated, we can apply that to explore some areas that we're interested in. And with the conversations we're going to have, we can see what are some areas we're curious to explore. What do people want to know about cannabis? And then we can apply ourselves that way. So it's very, very exciting to be doing this now.
In the 2 years since our nation has legalized it, what are some of the changes that you've seen? Have there been some extreme changes? Obviously, we're obviously the dialogue and the human perception, Canadians' perception towards cannabis is changing. Obviously, people are a lot more mellow and relaxed about it. It's like, oh, it's not so crazy. It's out there in the world. I can just go buy it. No one. It's just another day in our lives, right? It's just another working day. Besides that huge change, what are some specific changes that you've seen, whether it's a product or a new treatment type? Has there been any sort of minor revolutionary changes that you've seen in the last 2 years?
I think one thing was the way we decided to roll out our retail stores in Ontario. First, it was like a lottery system, and that was a little like slow to get going. And now we're doing, like, as applications are ready, they're being approved, and now we're at about 80 stores a month being approved by the Ontario government, like the Ontario Cannabis Store.
Just in the province?
Yeah, like we're doing 80 stores a month now. We actually just hit a milestone at the end of November of 250 stores open in Ontario.
Amazing.
Yeah, retail stores. So yeah, that's fantastic. The infrastructure is starting to come together, and that's really exciting, I would say. I would definitely say also noticing the amount of people that consume cannabis is very surprising, and it's so many different people, and also who's asking about cannabis. Like, I had one of my mom's friends the other day ask to see like a photo of the flower, and I was super surprised because this is like a very religious person, and I was like, wow, very interesting. You're like interested in as like you're looking at it from a different lens now, which is very exciting. And yeah, the conversation's a lot more relaxed. People are a lot more open to it. So it's very exciting to now be providing a space where people can now come together on a much larger scale and just see more of it go on in the same place. So yeah, it's very exciting the last 2 years and where we're going to go.
Multiple generations are now, like, the older generations are becoming a bit more relaxed and open-minded to it.
Yeah, I think actually the people above 50 are the majority consumers right now.
Really? Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They're big with the cannabis. They're familiar with like pharmaceuticals and all of that stuff, and its efficacy. And also cannabis provides like a little bit of an alternative for some products. So maybe they're looking towards that, because that was the reason why I turned to cannabis, was like an alternative of pharmaceuticals. So yeah, it's really exciting to see it's slowly starting to turn. It's slowly starting to open up, which is really, really cool. And to see who's participating. And then also the variety of products, to me, is really exciting with cannabis. Like to have your smokable traditional options, but also your edibles, and then also your topical applications. And now we've got like beverages, and we've got like tonic waters with some CBD in it or some THC in it. That's really exciting to see what's starting to come out. Everybody can almost find something that might appeal to them. And that's the cool thing about it. It's a matter of exploring. And then if you're willing to do it, and if you like it, and if it intrigues you and you're informed enough, then you're like, hey, let's try a particular beverage. Let's try an edible possibly. And then see how it goes, because you're now informed. Okay, let's gauge it. Let's see how it makes me feel. And you can participate that way. And also try maybe with other people who've never even considered cannabis as well. So it's really exciting these last 2 years. And it's growing, and it's changing too. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, the people coming together has been a really cool one, and seeing the conversations really float to the top.
I'm talking to you, and we're recording this conversation just before Christmas. And so in the new year is when the app will launch. Right? We already have a website up. The app is coming. I still want to know where you're going to because as an entrepreneur, this is what I'm most fascinated about. What is the next step for Kanahu? I know the app has to get launched. That will be a massive milestone. That will be a huge thing for the company.
Yeah.
But like, where do you project, in the next year, in the next 2 years? Like, if we want to sit down and revisit this sometime in the summer, it's like, okay, how's Kanahu growing, Pedro? Like, tell me everything.
Yeah.
Like, how do you foresee it growing? Where do you want to take the company to, out of the province, nationwide? Tell me what you're thinking the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we definitely, a big focus right now is to have the app reach market and get to consumers, so we can begin building our community and having the conversations flourish. But yeah, we're really going to focus on the Ontario province first. We want to like make sure we've got that down packed, build our relationship with our consumers and the companies in the space, get our ring around the rosy here so we understand what our workflow is and all of that. And then once we've really had a positive impact here in Ontario, we definitely want to expand to Canada and go to the other provinces. That's a big focus of us to expand across the country, because we do have the regulations all over. So we definitely want to go nationwide, but the big focus is definitely to take our time with it, make sure that consumers are not getting left behind. We want to keep the app working at its peak efficiency. We want to make sure the companies are satisfied with how our relationships are going. And we want to make sure the consumers are being informed. We want to make sure that their experience is fantastic. And as we're able to keep that going, then we'll grow as we can. And yeah, the overall big goal is definitely to see if we can go to global markets and participate in other countries who are medically legal, because there's quite a few countries, I think there's over 50 now, who have a medical infrastructure, especially in Europe. There's quite a few countries there. And then also expand to other recreational markets, maybe like the US when they go recreational. But our big focus is really to take care of the Canadian market and help Canadians be informed with regards to cannabis, whether they're consuming or just having conversations with other family members, but to accept it into their lives as just another product and not be so afraid of it, but be informed so that whether they want it or not, they can make that choice confidently. Like our mission is to encourage your relationship with cannabis and ignite the confidence within you. Mm-hmm. So we don't want you to be afraid of it. We want to encourage your relationship, not press you to consume it, but we want you to be confident with that relationship as well. Feel good about it, whether it's consuming or just talking about it. But yeah, Canada is definitely our focus. But to start off, Ontario, and get that really under control, make sure that we're helping everybody out the best we can, and then go as we can. But yeah, we're excited to do that. Absolutely.
So first Ontario, then Canada, then the world.
Yeah, absolutely. As we can, I think we'll be able to do that. And yeah, we've got a fantastic plan to do so. And one step at a time, we're getting there every day. It's been a fantastic journey, and it's getting better and better. Like us being here has been fantastic. And yeah, it's going well.
I want to revisit this with you when that app is out. I definitely want to talk to you again once you've had the app out, and maybe there's a couple of months where people have it in their hands. I know I'm going to download it, and you're going to tell me exactly when I can download it, because I want it on my phone too. And so I definitely want to revisit this with you and see just how much of that trailblazing that you're doing, because I don't know anyone else who's pioneering this like you, man. So I can't wait to see how Kanahu can change the landscape of the dialogue and of the conversation. If people want to learn more right now, where can they find you, Pedro? Where can they find Kanahu?
So Kanahu's on we're on Instagram, so at the Kanahu. We're on Twitter, Kanahu, Facebook, Kanahu. We're on TikTok. We're on Pinterest and Reddit. Reddit's a really cool place to have conversations. We're really into Reddit, like really in-depth conversations, nice hot topics. We post stuff there, and we can really engage. What would you like to see? What's something you're really liking in the Canadian cannabis space? So that's a fantastic place. And you can find me on Instagram at Acme Baby. So ACMEBABY. That's my Instagram. And yeah, you can really just DM us. You can send us an email. Check out our website. We have a mobile and a desktop version, so they're both compatible. And you can send us emails. You can contact us directly through the website. You can read up on us on our website as well. And yeah, feel free to send us a DM, send me a DM on Instagram. I'm ready to respond. I love the conversation. And yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking with everyone, because having the conversation is one of my favorite things, is to really just, what are your thoughts? What are your questions? Let's just move forward with it. Let's talk about it, and let's sit down and take a moment. So yeah, you can find us on basically all social platforms. You can find me at Acme Baby. Fantastic. _ Yeah.
Kanahu.com, right?
And Kanahu.com, absolutely, www. So yeah, Kanahu.com is the place to be.
Thank you so much, Pedro, for taking the time and educating me. I can't wait for the app to drop.
You're welcome, Nick, and thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and once again, thank you.